thank you for your patience and welcome to Diane Actually Writes. This is the show where I actually try to get writing done, or editing, or something directly related to that. I host 15-minute progress sprints with 5-minute breaks, and I encourage other people to work on their creative projects as well, whatever it is that they would like to progress on. So, welcome back, everyone. Good to see you, Anastasia. I see you came in while I was on the break there. James is worrying about moving out because he's not very good at looking after himself. Fair enough. Yeah. I don't want to live in world E26925. How would you even use that in conversation? Probably you make a word out of it like they do with droid names in Star Wars, I would say. So, you know, we're here on E2, you know? Yeah. See, Anastasia had the same thought. Yeah, in a world, says author Brian. Good to see you. Yeah, numbers, both systems might exist. Numbers for administrative reasons and a name for the inhabitants. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. So what are you guys working on today? I'm going to get started here fairly quickly because I feel like, you know, since we preceded this with State of the Multiverse, I've already done kind of the talking lead-in bit. Yeah, think name, social insurance number, or, you know, New Earth. Yeah, that makes sense. Just to be original. People aren't very original with their names. I think people overthink this. In, like, if it's humans, we're pretty boring, right? We come up with names, then we rename things after those names. There's, like, you know, a bunch of places, like, there's Dudney roads all over BC because a guy named Dudney did a bunch of the surveying here of BC in the early days of its settlement. You know, shit like that. So, you know, it was an in-joke in David Weber's Honorverse that every planet had a place named Landing something because that was the place where people landed when they first colonized the planet. We're like that. So it's really okay. You don't have to be that creative, honestly. Right? Calutan says, I think I will jump into my sci-fi world. Well, we've been talking sci-fi, so that makes sense to me. Satrium says, I'm finishing up an article about one of my D&D characters. Awesome. So you're an Anvilite. That's cool. Well, welcome to the stream. That's amazing. Yep. Author Brian says, I finished the Scrivener tutorial. Excellent. So now I'm just putting my ideas in order. That's cool. Oxaze said, usually dead white Guyton. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Natalia's done with her main characters, and for a call from Van Helsing, that's awesome. Emily says, just looking at the example of the US, New Earth is the most probable, 100%. Satrium says, you don't even want to know how many towns are called Neustadt, Newtown in Germany. Oh my god, yeah. We're that creative. That's how creative we are. Anastasia says, I'm meant to be working on a sanguine horse story. I might switch to goofing off in the chat. Well, hey, whatever, you know, I'm sure you won't be the only person goofing off in the chat, and that's awesome. Daz will probably get in on that. She enjoys that. Emily says, I'm adding mouse over snippets for my articles. I didn't like the look of them, so I changed the CSS yesterday to give them a better background and to make the writing way bigger. Well, that's cool. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm still not the world's greatest CSS person, right? So I do minimal CSS, only when I have to, and, you know, or I can't stand it, right? So, Calutan says, in sci-fi, how much should I keep with the real-life star systems and current astronomical knowledge? That is totally up to you, my friend. Remember that Star Wars happens in a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and it doesn't lose any emotional impact for us. So why the fuck not, right? And you don't have to stick to this one. And furthermore, if you did stick to this one, which you can do if you want to, lots of people do, and that's kind of fun. Space nerds like it because they get to go, oh, that's that one right there, right? Then you can always rename stuff. right? Just because it's called E26501 right now doesn't mean that they won't name it Haven when they get there, you know? Yeah, it's too late for me to start something new, says Natalia. So there you go. You want to chat, Oxtaze? Natalia will keep you busy. Amelie says, I'm 2 weeks into CSS and I feel very smug about all I've done. That's excellent. Ah, but what if this is our galaxy? Stream worked for me. Repeat, because, yeah, sorry the stream worked for you. Basically, just because it's named E26501 now, doesn't mean that it still will be in the future. When people settle that, they're going to name it something, right? They're not likely to continue to call it E26501, right? They're going to call it E2, right? At the very least, or they're going to name it something, Haven, New Eden, you know, depending on the culture that settles there, which you can world build in, right, by the name, right? Maybe they use the Polish word for Earth, or ocean, which would be more accurate for an Earth-type planet. Yep. Yeah. Who's still in break? Sorry. Amelie says heaven or something uplifting like that. Sounds very much like they would do with the mission. Yeah, yep. James says I will be editing Zone 4 to finish off my Zone series. Excellent. Yeah, Anastasia says you can hand wave terraformation if you need the environment different. Yep, totally can. Amelie says we name all the robots we send into space after all. Yes, we do. I forget which story had a son called Bob because it was a big orange blob. I think that might have been Titan AE. I could be wrong. The planet Bob? No, so that's not a sun, that's a planet. But I remember there was a planet Bob. Explanation, LV-426 was the name of the planet from Aliens. Yeah, he said, feel free. If they're still in the exploration stage, they're probably still calling it by its designation. But if they land on the thing and start inhabiting it, they're going to give it a name. All right, let's get to work. I think that I'm going to start with, I'm doing some name changing to make it more consistent with my Orcish in some minor edits and a few good elves right now. And when I'm done that, I'm either going to move on to continuing to edit To Know Your Enemy, Book 2, or I will be working some more on updating my timeline. I've really got to kind of get the timeline figured out now, because if I'm going to do a flash forward, I need to know when it happens, right? So, Satrium says most close stars are named as well, or they're named in the star formation they are in. Emily says that would be a nice joke until something strange happens. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Most close stars are named as well, or they're named by the star formation they're in. I think it's perfectly realistic to call something Proxima 1. Let's talk more, right? You bet. Also, am I doing showcases today? No, Daz, I am not. Today is not a showcase day, because it's Diane Actually Writes. Showcases tomorrow, though. You're quite welcome. During the Hobbit birthday, which I hope you'll make because I want to give away stuff. Excuse me. Maybe I'll work on Natalia's tricks and tips on beginnings. That's cool. And Oxhaze says the one at the Bodyguard Corp. Yeah. Or call it You Finger You Fool. Tomorrow, not Sunday? No, Sunday too. Sunday is, I'm not normally guaranteeing that I'm on Thursday, but or on Saturday rather, but I'm doing it tomorrow because it's a Hobbit birthday. It is my birthday. I want to give stuff away, right? So, I will be on tomorrow for sure, and Sunday, as always, there will be showcases because it is Sable's World Forge. It seems awkward having you showcase on your birthday. Aw, that's sweet. Did I notice that Consonance is this weekend? I did not. I did not notice. I'm an idiot. I missed it. What time tomorrow? GMT, please. 10 p.m. That's 2 p.m. Pacific for everybody else. So 5 p.m. Eastern. All right. Just a second, guys. I gotta take my inhaler here. Well, now I know if I want to see what's on. Cool, I will definitely check it out after the stream. Do you happen to have the URL handy? If so, feel free to drop it in the chat. People would definitely like to check it out. They're doing it for free, because that's awesome. Consonants.org, I believe. Awesome. And Eli has lunch. All right, let's get the sprint started, and we're off. I'm going to... a few good elves, because I'm changing some naming shit. Oh, I can shut this down, so that'll... This is beginning to irritate me. For frick's sakes. I'm pretty sure that that's all I need there. So let's switch over to Know Your Enemy. Expect the stream to temporarily bork. I don't know why I did that. That's fucked up. That's the sprint. How did you guys do? I got a start anyway. La 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 la. Hurry up, stupid thing. Okay. To be fair, the dictionary uses a lot of memory. Probably have to change all the VPays. I will look that up, actually. Because they probably all did that. All right. Two stubs created and linked, says Moonflower. James says finished main body of article needed to put acknowledgements. Awesome, guys. Okay, we have a question. Does anyone have a tip for a strong beginning? Ha! This is an interesting conversation for sure. Right? Make the first line paragraph interesting and really pop. Cayetana says make the main... Oh, a whole bunch of shit came in at once. Okay. Let's see. Make the main character have to escape. Anastasia says write the studying beginning after the middle and end. Two stubs created and linked, says Moonflower. That's excellent. Okay. No, I already read that. Sorry. Anastasia says start with the weak beginning and go back to write the strong one after it has a story to support it. That's good strategy. Satrium finished everything except the last part of the character's story. Cayetana got distracted by chat but working on a space navy. Well, that's cool either way. Okay, I'm reading this book called Writing the Breakout Novel by a guy named Donald Mass, who is one of the more well-known literary agents in, like, he represents a bunch of science fiction and fantasy writers that I really like, and you know, okay, so he says that the key about a beginning is you've got to hook the reader's attention, right? And the way to do that is either, you know, have action that directly relates to the story, or give more importantly, give the reader questions that you're going to slowly answer, right? In media res, in the middle of the action, is considered the best, says Emily, right? Not necessarily, right? That depends on, you know, but they say don't leave a lot of prelude to the beginning. On the other hand, you do have to establish character motivation. Yeah, show the character do something typical for them, but interesting for us. That's another thing. I'm working on the back chat there, Cayetana. I asked earlier but got lost. Is Navy of the Earth and its colonies a good name? No, I think that's cumbersome, quite frankly. Right? think about what people in the Navy would call it, right? They want something that they can, that defines kind of how they are, right? Canadian Navy, right? United States Navy, right? Something like that. Earth Colonial Navy, First Earth Colonial Navy. Yeah, I like Earth Colonial Navy. I think that's a good one, right? Terran Colonial Navy. Terra is often used for a synonym for Earth. I'm sorry you got a rejection from the Queer Anthology, Eli. That sucks. They say, I guess I'm actually okay with getting the no from the Queer Anthology. Oh, that's the Dragon of Productivity. We gotta get back to work here in a moment. I think with the other story I've written for Bard for Tales, I have a collection in the works, and I'd hate to leave it out. Well, there you go. Loud neighbors. Thanks for plugging the VOD channel there, James. Currently, the direct import to YouTube is not working, so I am downloading my VODs and uploading them, which is a pain in the ass. Oh, thank you for the reminder, Anastasia. Yes, if anyone is looking for my music, today is Bandcamp Friday, when Bandcamp doesn't take its cut of the sales. It's something they're doing off and on during COVID to support the... Okay, now, this says, like the music, you can get it at, but this isn't the music we're currently playing because Aaron usually, this is set up for Aaron streams when he was playing my music, but there is an address. Oh, and thank you, Anastasia shared the URL as well, so that's nice. Is the next break the second or third? It's they would be the first technically, but we can do your brainstorm then if you want. Okay, I gotta get back to work, guys. All right, I did save that. Now, I will be taking a break. Like a break. I am looking for... Why did I have that twice? And that one twice too, that makes no sense. Oh, fuck off. It's a weird noise. That's the sprint, gang. Okay. So how did you all do? I got a fair bit of editing done there because I sort of am half ignoring the thing I'm looking up because I think I remember it. Do you want to use this break for your brainstorming there, Moonflower? 77 words and a lot of math. Excellent. Hey, James is doing some admin in his world. That's cool. A 100 words of backstory added. Excellent. Okay, tell you what there, Moonflower. I think I might wait until next break if that's okay. Math is hard. Fair enough. Please throw out your question, though, because that way we can get the full 5 minutes to brainstorm it. I think I'm done with tips and tricks for beginnings, says Natalia. Awesome. Ew. Eli says, Mr. Twinkle asked me to read something for age range. A friend of his wrote it. I don't know what age range it is, but it's definitely not the advertised YA. Also, I think someone had a little too much fun with a thesaurus and not enough time with the dictionary. Yeah, good point. Oxhaze says you can get robots to report reading level for what that's worth. I tend to feel goes mad with the thesaurus peaks between grades 3 and 5. Much past that, one should be developing a feel for the differences in nuance between cheer, shriek, and bellow. Good point. Emily did nothing, got distracted by internet. Okay, fair enough. We forgive you. Daz is tweaking her MC article, but now she thinks it's really done, except for the infernal edits that she always misses. I hear that. Okay, so in the next break, which will be after the break sprint, right? Moonflower says, so I need planet bases. 1 habitable planet, 3 non-habitable planets, and 2 dwarf planets. And you need names for these? Kayetan says, what do you think of such a division of an interstellar navy? Standing fleet, main forces used in big operations, rapid response fleets, system patrol fleets, and exploration corps. Yes, I think that's ideal. Yeah, names are the priority. Okay. Gotcha, Moon. Satrium says, also this character article is getting quite long now at 2,242 words. Yeah, my character articles are usually pretty long too, especially if they're protagonists. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Beginning that I hope is strong, Anxhaze says, but we were here for the last boat, and it was too full. Becca had to shout to be heard about the diesel engine. On the other side of the barrier, the man in the ferry company uniform shrugged. Yeah, that's a good beginning, because you've immediately presented us with the dilemma and the protagonist, right? But we need to get on the boat. But you can't, there's no room. So now what? And Amelie says normal can work if it's unusual for the reader, or you can make it interesting in some way as a beginning for a book, right? Though you have to be careful since it can easily become boring. Yeah, it's easy to get bogged down in the details for sure. Des says, which means I can now work out table map pieces and the minis for my session on Saturday. Awesome, or Sunday rather. Satrium says, yeah, it's not bad, just need to try to add some stuff like quotes to it to not make it a big wall of text. Yep. And Emily just remembered to turn off her alarm for tomorrow, which is good because otherwise you would end up not getting that nice long sleep you were looking for. Yeah, so now what, in the case of Missing the Boat, is about 84k words in which nothing happens. Yeah, but your book is a slice of life thing, right? So that's okay. Natalia says, Norit steps out of his parents' house, the little cottage with a roof of straw. The roads are dusty and directly are covering his boots. He didn't mind it. You changed tense there. You went from present tense to past tense. He didn't mind it and walked straight to the market. He hoped, straight to the market, period. He hoped there were oranges today. Get rid of the wrong there. Get rid of the H in where, because it's were. The sun burnt on his head. Yeah. I have editing to do, but I don't wanna, says Eli. Fair enough. It's not a bug, it's a feature, says Arsazi. Daz says I want this character article to really pop, as it's important, sort of the flagship of my fleet of characters. Fair enough. Oh, Kypus has 40 likes? Kypus is awesome. Kypes, rather. Kypes. I keep going Kypus, but it's Kypes. Kypes has 40 likes. Kypes is cool. Kypes should have 40 likes. Okay, gang, I'm going to switch to the Be Right Back screen. As always, feel free to use the break as a sprint. That is what I do, and I will be working when I get back. I'll see you in a minute. I'm back and working in the background. I got Moonflower's message, and that's okay. If they're up to it tomorrow, we'll do it then. Definitely go lie down. Self-care first, okay? What? Oh, okay. Apparently, I was muted. Just so you guys know, I am eating. I am getting a bit of lunch here, so the break thing may run a little longer than it otherwise would because I don't believe in eating on camera. Nobody wants to watch me do that. Oh, Daz is telling emote stories again. Okay, Eli, I hear you about being depressed. So you go ahead. Like I said, self-care first. And I'm sorry, I know it's frustrating when you're trying to make your career happen, but you have no money. That is the sprint, but I'm still chewing here in the background. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear me talk with my mouth full much, so give me a sec. In the meantime, how did you do? Okay, I've stopped chewing now. So, James asked earlier, what are the brainstorms for? Like, write a Greg stream, but with topics? Yeah, basically, like, you know, you spend the channel points, we use the time brainstorming. This was a suggestion from Moonflower to include as a channel point reward. And, but if you give me something, that I know you need a brainstorm for in a direction, then I can help you out with whatever it is. And we spend that time brainstorming as a collective about what you'd like to brainstorm about, where you need help, right? So Natalia says, my take on a beginning is shaking the main character's normal, or taking the main character's normal and shaking it up like a snow globe. Yep, that is a good approach. Huh. Daz. Yep. Canon. The chapter sneaks off. Sable says, give me back my real chapter. Thief, I'm as fast as I can be, says the kitty. You'll never catch me. Sable points to Canon. Looks at the, towards the kitty with the chapter. Kapow! Strolls away victorious. Okay, that's the growl, but I'm actually going to take a couple minutes of this next sprint here to keep chatting so that I can catch up on the chat, and then I am going to switch to the sprint screen. So consider this part of the break, gang. Angsaze, see, I can really relate to this actually, says, never try, never fail. The promise of depressive cognitive distortions. I had a real problem with this most of my childhood and young adulthood because, and by that I mean until I was at least 30, right? Because if you try and fail, that's very disappointing, right? But what if you succeed? And then people put pressure on you to succeed. So I had a fear of success and a fear of failure. Very crippling. Sometimes, you just gotta put shit out and hope for the best, right? But don't think over much about it, right? Give your effort, and if it doesn't work, give another effort. I keep that at bay by having about 17 different projects going at the same time, usually, right? Okay, so what people were working on. Satrium said another 200 words about a vision about Keth, the character he's writing about, or they're writing about. Pronouns, actually, Satrium would be helpful, if you don't mind. James managed some admin edits and will chill up to 2300 GMT, so for another 15 minutes or so. That's cool. Emily says, almost done with my mouse over snippets, then I can go back to write the article on courtship rituals. That's cool. Natalia did 482 words for her beginnings, tips, and tricks. Awesome. Satrium says pronouns are he, his. Okay, duly noted. He, it will be. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, Amelie says, speaking of food makes me want to get a chocolate. Luckily, I am too lazy to get up. And Natalia's sitting out world building this time. Have you heard about this? Sustain military, almost like Space Marines. I have not. I will check it out. Putting it up so I can have a look at it. Probably won't look at it on stream. Oh well, actually it's not long here. Deploying Marines via space flight to any location on Earth. Small unit space transport and insertion. Haha, neat. Project Hot Eagle, launched by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency and the Air Force Research Laboratory, is an investigation into the development and use of suborbital spacecraft to fulfill this vision. Hot Eagle would use a craft based on a design similar to Spaceship One, which could launch a squad on a suborbital trajectory in 2 stages and deliver them anywhere on 2 hours' notice. Holy shit. I wonder if this is part of the Space Force's mandate now. Neat. Emily says, I just found the tab in the article edit screen that allows to apply CSS to only on that one article. Oh yeah! I spent so much time yesterday finding out how to do that from the general CSS thing. Oh god. Yikes. My dad says, yay for finding the tab. Aw, boo. Anastasia says, I'm afraid my acquaintance beta reader didn't find the work compelling enough to finish or tell me it wasn't worth finishing. Natalia says, Anastasia, don't worry if that happens. Give me a DM and I will read it. That's awesome. Thanks for offering there, Natalia, to support writers in the community. No, I get it. It's a scream of rage, no wonder. I'm sorry if I'm trying to read it quickly, so that's probably why my tone was not inappropriate. Yeah. Anastasia says, yeah, hi, yes, sorry, I do appreciate it. I have a bit more time now that I moved, so I'll commit to giving it a read and some feedback this week. Bug me again on Friday if I haven't gotten back to you by then, and now it's 11:45 on Friday. Yeah, honestly, beta readers can be like that. If you get like half of them writing back to you, you're doing well. I keep telling my patrons that I want their opinion for the things that I'm producing by way of draft, and they keep not telling me. So I assume that means it's good, because if they had a complaint, I'm sure they would tell me. That's frustrating. That particular one is specialist knowledge. Don't worry, Sable. I know you're discovering our text as you read it and guessing the tone as you go along, says Emily. Yeah, that's exactly it. Kayetan says, did I tell you the Space Force logo looks like Starfleet? Yeah, actually, I know. Are you kidding? Could I have missed that? Come on. I'm like an old school science fiction fan. I was kind of like, really? Satrium says, okay, reading back that vision, I just noticed I've swatched tense like 4 times in 300 words. Yikes. Well, good you caught it. A lot of people don't even catch it on the edit. Here's an irony for you. Okay, the guy who was my English teacher, high school English teacher, okay, who taught a writing class that I took, is now part of my local Vernon critique group. And the man doesn't understand tense. He switches tense all the fucking time. I'm like, how did you teach me English? You know, it's kind of stunning to me. But yeah. So get it on the edit and you're good. Hey, I'm just glad you liked mine the other day, says Brian. Yeah, check out his story because it's fucking cool. Yep, offer still stands, says Natalia. Yes, it's very difficult to get people to read, says Emily, and even more so to get feedback as it asks for a lot of work. That is a truth right there. Okay, I'm caught up now, so just a sec here and we'll switch over to the sprint screen. I'm way off time today because I started at the wrong, it was already into the time I had scheduled for this today when I started because we had done State of the Multiverse. Satrium says, I think it's easier for me to catch stuff like that as I'm not a native speaker, so I need to think more about it when reading it back. That's interesting. That's interesting. I had no idea that English was not your first language, so you're doing fine, sounds like to me. Like I said, this was my fucking English teacher, and he did not understand. Yeah. Yeah, you had a strong English immersion program, says Anastasia, yeah. Yeah, Anastasia adds, I'm touchy because one of my paid betas stopped at chapter 9 to ask what the point of the story was, what's the thesis, etc. Well, clearly that beta does not read slice of life or a lot of literary fiction. And, you know, sometimes people don't, and then they're the wrong people to do it. But then they should have given you your money back. Okay, it's almost 3 o'clock here. I'm going to take another allergy pill. So much allergies from yesterday. I told them they didn't have to finish, and I paid them, but I didn't tip. Yeah. Well, you've done your part, but they shouldn't have taken your money. If I'd had to ask that, I wouldn't have taken the money. I'd have figured out this book is not for me, and I am not doing you any good. All right, let's get back to work, shall we? Thanks for being patient with me today, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm not doing my usual thing. Yeah, you should have paid half only if they read half. Good point. All right, here we go. We're back to work once more into the breach. Right, I think I was missing a word is what I had determined. Yes, I am missing a word. Oh, right, that's what I was doing here anyway. I was looking up whether or not I could just get away with a regular G-O, or whether the regular O meant something else, because it's been a while since I've done this, and I fucking forgot. There it is. I thought I edited that, for fuck's sakes. Okay. Okay, I know what I'm doing now. Theoretically. Okay. That's the one I want. I did that in the first place. Stupid thing. How did I copy that? I fucking did, didn't I? Okay. No, it worked. It was just slow. Actually, there was also the R. Where is it? There it is. Why is this slow? Because it's huge. If you're wondering. Oh, I see. I'm gonna be pain in my ass. Really? Where are you at for a pain in my ass? Okay. I'm trying to simplify things. That's the word I ultimately wanted there. Alright, let's try this here instead. There, now I'll be able to find that if I search that again. Actually, first I think I'll take this. Wrong one. There we go. That's what I want. Oh, this is fucking wrong one again. I don't need that right now. Go away. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I don't think that's in there. Might be in here. Oh, is that still fucking going? Okay, now let's see. And that's a sprint. I think I'll change that to too much bloody work. How'd you guys do? Oh, I already have that. I need to change the G in that. Still need to put it that way though, don't I? Yeah, I do. All right. Okay. All right. Daz says, I'm always wondering what the themes of my stories are. My tales are filled with high adventure and shenanigans with typical drama. Apparently that's not a theme. Drama like love, betrayal, maturity. But the drama is more like flavor in my fiction. It's not the focal point. I think I do really well with my plots. That's sort of a DM reflex. A theme is kind of like what you're trying to say, right? Like, war sucks. That's a theme, you know? Love conquers all. That's a theme, you know? Jose says, they figured out it was just a bad, pointless book. That's a service. It's not a bad, pointless book. Right? It's just not their style. Jose also says, oh, I can tell you themes, Dazzlecat. I just can't give you a thesis statement. Unless people are hard is his thesis. I think it is. Emily says, a thesis statement is very strange for a novel. Yeah, it is a bit, but that's a theme, right? Also, people are hard. Oh, hello, Coffee. Oh, Coffee won't be coming on at the usual time. Okay, thank you for the heads up. I appreciate that. So I will look for someone else to raid then when I am done today, and I appreciate your... Unless... It might not matter. Just a second here. Because, like, I'm going till 5 o'clock today. So... Yeah, so you're not on now. Fair enough. Well, maybe I'll be raiding Kahuna then. You guys can help me out and double check who's up when we're done. Thanks. Get some sleep, self-care. Glad you're taking your own advice. Osaze says, I have strong themes of consent and communication in my work. My general approach is that consent is not as simple as tea. And for the record, I don't think making tea for somebody who doesn't want it is a sin. It's just a waste. Or maybe it is as simple as tea, but deciding whether you'd like some Earl Grey ooling with lavender flowers is not something many people can do as easily as the popular video suggests. Yeah, good point. Dad says, cool, angst, explain to me theme. I am solid on plots, but theme feels alien to my brain. Good night, Kayatan. Thanks for joining us today. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. As always, a pleasure. That's the Dragon of Productivity. How much do we have here? There's a fair bit of chat still. I think I'm going to resume this after the next theme. Or after the next theme. You can tell I'm reading the chat as I go, right? And then I'll probably give an update at that point, but it's time to get back to work. Oh, this hurts my head with all this changing the fucking language. I don't know what I was thinking. But I wanted a consistent conlang, so... Serves me right! Oh, I changed that one already. There. I think that's what I just did, didn't it? Yep. Okay. Okay, so that's actually something else I have to change here. Don't give me any bullshit. I'm not in the mood for you today. We need to put this to that. And we need to do that. Like that. And now we're going to do this again. And now we're going to need... Okay. Oh, good for me. Yeah, why not? Make that one slightly different. Okay. No, I don't need to change that at all. So now... There. All right. Now I've made my life a little bit easier on myself. Alright. Okay, I already changed that. Good. And that's the sprint. Good night, James. Thanks for joining us. Have a good sleep. You stayed like half an hour longer than you said you were going to. I hope you rest well. Always a pleasure to have you. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Alright. How'd everyone do? Where are you at? I made some good progress there, I feel. This is like the really hard edit, this one, because I'm adjusting the timeline, I'm changing all the language, and I'm actually editing, right? So, pain in my butt. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed Natalia going to bed. Good night, Natalia. Thanks for joining us. Wow, there's a lot of chat. I don't know if I'm going to catch up. Okay, we'll try to summarize. Because someone was trying to explain the difference between theme and thesis. Yeah, but my character plots tend to be more material, like desperately needing to find the murderer. Great, says Daz, looking for theme. Anastasia says there are examples. What's A Clockwork Orange about? Freedom of choice is the only inherent good. That's the theme. What's Crime and Punishment about? Redemption is earned through suffering. Emily says, but with a novel, you only talk about thesis when studying literature. I've never seen contemporary authors talking about it unless for pretentious literary novels. I think they're mixing theme and thesis here, and they do seem pretty close anyway. Yep. A slice of life story is not an essay. That's right. Diegetic stories tend to be a bit unappealing, to be honest. Says Anastasia. Yeah, I think they meant the theme. Yeah, Natalia putting her links in the chat so you can check out her pre-order. You're always welcome to do that, guys. If you're part of the community, that's totally fine. Emily says, depending on what editing you asked them to do, they probably wanted to make sure you had nothing in the novel that went against your theme, and to see if they needed to refocus some other scenes so that it's all centered around the theme. Daz says, I don't write my stuff for a specific theme other than to solve whatever the conflict is. Yeah, Emily says, I only think about theme when revising. Like I said, it's to see if the story needs maybe a bit of refocusing, if it's trying to do too much in too little words. To be honest, I don't think about the theme until after I'm done writing the draft, at least, anyway. I write the fucking story, and then I try to figure out what it's about. Because I think about things in terms of events, right? So, don't hurt your brain too much about this, Daz. It's really not that important. If your character is learning something, you have a theme, and your story is not lacking, says Amelie. Absolutely true. And there are even stories with different types of character arcs that can also work, though finding the theme may be harder with those. Yep. Let the critics decide your theme and thesis statement, says Angstase. Just write the story you want to tell. Hello, Amanda. Good to see you. And cool that you're getting ready for your own stream, so you're quite welcome to lurk. We're always happy to have you. Dad says I have comedy, action, drama. Although it's more like comedy, action! Tiny little letters. Drama. Fair enough. Yeah, the timer can be difficult to read because it's deliberately a very light outline against a dark background. And in order to get it to work properly, the resolution isn't that great. Alright, we got another sprint here. Is there anything that I immediately need to catch up on before I go? Ah, yeah, calendars. I kind of cheated too. And then I asked Artie to make me a calendar converter so I can convert my Avalonian dates to my Fomorian dates. Alright. Right. Guess I have to add a word. And that's the sprint, gang. How'd everyone do? I think I'll leave that there. All right. All right, people have been chatting ideas. That's really cool, guys. I'm sorry I'm missing out on this conversation while I'm working. All right, let's see if I can catch up. Daz says, but I want people to have fun reading my stories and wanting to come back and relive the ride type thing. Daz, here's my advice. If you are having fun writing it, somebody will have fun reading it. That's my advice. Really. Try not to overthink things. If you're enjoying the story, other people will enjoy the story. It's just a matter of connecting with the audience that will. Right? So, some people just want a good adventure. I don't really think any of the Forgotten Realms novels had a major theme. They had some. The better ones did. The Drista Worden novels generally had a theme. Right? Which is remain true to yourself. Even when the people around you were not. Because deep inside, you know, when we think about it, we all know what's right. But I would say that the first trilogy that he wrote, which was not the Dark Elf trilogy, but the one that took place when they got to Icewind Dale, didn't really have a lot of elaborate theme, except maybe friendship is magic. I don't know. Yeah. Anastasia says, I think my final opinion as a consumer of services, and this is the beta reading services, is have the decency to have the decency to do a single pass read without hand-holding before demanding to be told intent. Anastasia adds, my opinion as an author is that if a reader can't access a work without hand-holding, the work is a failure. Cole's notes indicate a mismatch between reader and work. Yeah, that's fair enough, but you know what? Not everybody in the world is your intended audience, right? Like, okay, to be honest with you, Anastasia, I don't read a lot of slice of life stuff, right? I don't. It's not really something that I seek out, but I know enough about writing to recognize good writing when I see it. And I know people who do write and read slice of life stuff. I should probably connect you with one of the local people who's part of my local critique group here. Her name is Angelica. She writes and reads slice of life and tends to do kind of takes on fairy tale fantasies. And she's a very literary sort of reader and editor. She's not cheap, but she's good. And, you know, like, her stuff flows like your stuff, so I know what's good, right? I mean, I'm not your necessarily intended audience. I love to see through the eyes of other poly people. That's awesome, right? But, you know, would I seek out slice of life on its own? Nah, probably not, unless I was reading an LGBTQ magazine or something like that, you know? But your work is good. So, I enjoyed it. And it's not even really my thing. So, you're doing fine, right? Don't let one person's obvious lack of connection to what you're trying to do dishearten you. because there's always going to be somebody that you just don't connect with, and that's okay. It's okay, right? Don't be afraid. Guys, I'm going to switch over to the break timer now because I have to take a bio and it's almost 4 o'clock. So I'll resume that when I get back. I'll see you in a minute. Good night, Satrium. It was a pleasure meeting you. I hope we'll see you again soon. And I'm back and working in the background. I'm sorry, guys. I've been doing a very shitful job of keeping up with the chat today. I'll just add in here. I think Amelie is right, Angstaze. I think they were trying to do an editor's job. Daz is going to finish off her novella and write the second one during Nano. That's awesome. Satrium finished their character article, at least content-wise. He still needs to edit it properly. That's excellent. Good job. Emily wisely avoided giving any date in the novel. I had to, because my novel takes place over a number of years. And I'm already having problems with how long houses are supposed to have existed before and after the foundation of the Empire, and since when they are extinct. My mages live several centuries, so if I say something is centuries old, that's not old at all for them. That's just so annoying. Millennia old, then. It was probably a good idea for me to put all the world building in World Anvil before I publish anything or go further in the series. Yeah, it sounds like. You know, definitely Kronos is going to make it easier for everybody. It has calendars that will convert themselves, by the way. And that's a debate. If you're a long-lived species, how long does your memory last? Some people believe it's much clearer because our brains are still plastic and forming when we're children, so of course we don't have clear memories of things as children. But some say it's just long enough ago that it doesn't stick. Both are perfectly good takes, and the fact is we don't understand the human brain well enough to figure it out, so say whichever one you want. Average will write lengthy novels, says Daz. Others won't, or lengthy journals. Others won't bother and forget much. A very rare few will have a photographic memory or close to it, and that's if they live long. And yeah, that makes sense. So you don't have to decide on anything, because character perspective, right? Now I can pretend I was productive during the sprint. Brainstorming's productive. Heh. It's me too, Emily. I always think I have nothing to say about a world-building subject. Then I write tons about it. I thought my article on courtship rituals would be super small, so I added info on marriage at the end, and now I'm at 1.3k, and a half of the article is only notes. Yeah, you may want to divide that up. We'll call that brainstorming, not the obvious procrastination it was. Potions to keep the mind sharp, that's a good idea. Alright, I'm caught up. Cool, I'm going back to work. Because I'm doing this thing that requires concentration. Language is hard. I think it's worthwhile, especially for this series, when culture shock is such an important part of the experience. But, yeah. It's hard. Are we going over the hour today? Yes. Oh, shit, right, I'm supposed to quit, aren't I? This was scheduled from 1 to 4. Huh. I thought I was on from, like, 2 to 5, because that's when I usually run Diane Actually Writes. Oh, that's funny. I don't know. I was actually prepared to go for another hour. Do you guys want to, or do you want to quit after this sprint is done? Wouldn't mind which. Carrying on or quitting there? And hello, Walking Dead lover. Good to see you. I guess probably carrying on. We can continue? Okay, we'll continue for a bit. Daz will be going to cook after the sprint. That's cool. Dinner time in the U.S. It's 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern. If you don't have anything better to do, nope, I don't. The guys are off shopping. Carry on then. I may quit when they get back, though. Depending how long they are. I mean, I'm kind of on a roll. Mess me up to quit. Coffee's not on, so I'm not really interfering with anything. And that's the end of the sprint. We'll keep the break timer running here for the 5 minutes, and then we'll, because it resets the timer, and then we'll go back. Kahuna Happy Hour is on, though, gang, if you would like to join Kahuna. And Kahuna Happy Hour is fun, or at least it should be. Hold on, I'm going to check Twitch and see if he's up, because he hasn't been lately. Oh yeah, he's up, so I'll make sure to point out that he is there. I don't want you guys to miss him if you want to see his stream, because Kahuna Happy Hour is a lot of fun, and these days I often miss it, and I think it's a damn shame. Besides, I got started late today, so. See you, Daz. Thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure to have your company. I will hopefully see you tomorrow for Hobbit birthday. My neighbors are doing stuff outside my window. Okay, cool. I'm glad you'll try to be there. I would, I want you to have a chance to win stuff. Of course, it seems like Siobhan wins everything. I don't understand. Neighbors are annoying. Why can't we live in big parks, says Emily. Yeah, good point. But on the other hand, it's actually better for the environment for us to live in cities because we spoil less landmass that way. Well, I know that's like counterintuitive, isn't it? So how have you guys been doing in your sprints, by the way? Yeah, Coffee took herself off the schedule. Yeah, I wouldn't know. In Europe, we don't have enough space for that. Anyway, I wouldn't know how to live outside the city, says Emily. Yeah. Well, I'm going to put on Kahuna, even though I'm not actually watching him. You'll probably hear him in the background here for a moment before I have a chance to mute. Okay, no, I'm muted, so. Walking Dead Lover says, I've finally gotten unstuck from a scene. Nice! So I can now start working with my tarot cards for another. That's great! Good news! That is awesome! Oh, Kahuna's new layout looks really cool. It's got like an evening scene with palm trees blowing in the background. Looks great. Also, he's running Stream Raiders for those of you who enjoy that. Alright, Dragon's gonna growl at me in a minute here. There we are. And back to the sprint. I think, by the way, I am going to quit before 5 o'clock, so maybe we'll go for another half an hour, or maybe even another 15 minutes or so, because I would like to raid Kahuna. It's been a while since he's been on, and okay. Now, haha. Now I'm gonna cheat like a bastard. Watch this. Something like the concept of dough in martial arts. Ha! All right. Do I have to change this too? Oh, okay. Fine. 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 Do I have down in here? I hope I do. Yes. Enough. All right. Okay, what is that? I obviously did the timeline for that book. Chapter 28 is the next one to put out. Okay. That's what I needed to know. And that's the sprint, gang. Alright, what did I miss? And how'd you do? Of course, now your kitty demands Snuggles Walking Dead lover. The timing is great, isn't it? Good to see you back, by the way. Twitch has been such a pain in the ass. Hi, DM Stretch. Good to see you again. Hey, Author Goddess. Welcome. Muting again because you hate the keyboard sounds. Hello, Nina McKay. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the stream. We're getting pretty close to ending, but yeah, this is my writing stream, Diane Actually Writes, where we do timed progress sprints and then take 5-minute breaks. I am currently editing my novel for publication. This is like my final pass edit. Normally this program runs Thursdays from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time or 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. GMT. So, you know, 5 p.m. Eastern start. And yeah, you type some words for a short story. Awesome. That's great. I also do Diane Writes on Wednesdays, 1 to 4 p.m. Pacific, 9 to midnight GMT. And it's, we still do timed writing sprints, but we also do critiques and showcases and edits of short bits of fiction or world-building articles from World Anvil. And on Sundays, I do, actually, yeah, Saturday, tomorrow, I will be doing a Hobbit giveaway, a Hobbit birthday giveaway, because it's my birthday, and I'm going to give away some ebooks and things, so check it out. That starts at 2 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. GMT, runs for 2.5 hours, and Sundays I do Sable's World Forge, which is my world building stream, also sprints with the split up with showcases and critiques. And that's where I focus more usually on world building stuff for World Anvil, and that runs from 1 to 4 p.m. Pacific. So, yeah, 9 to midnight GMT. Yeah. Happy early birthday, says Walking Dead Lover. Thank you! Thank you! I will be 46 tomorrow, for those who want to know. I have no shame about my age. I earned every one of my gray hairs. Thank you very much. Eli is back from their walk. Did it help? I hope it helped. Walking Dead Lover says, the latest chapter just made me bring up the Etude Empire's notorious assassin Wolfslayer. You're younger than my mom? Well, that's good to know. I feel like I'm kind of a community mom around here, and I'm cool with that. That works for me. That's just fine. Eli says it helped some, and so did talking to my brother and my mom. That's cool. Rejection's gonna happen, especially with stories for anthologies, right? Because they've got a particular vision about what they want to do, and maybe yours just doesn't fit into their vision. It has nothing to do with you as a writer. I'm not old enough to be your mother? Awesome! Amelie, well, I'll be your big sister then. This will work for me. Big sister Diane, that's right. Although, of course, when it's spelled like that, you know, every French person knows perfectly well that it should be pronounced Diane, right? Because that is how it is spelled in French. Yeah, I know. So, which is fine, too, by the way. You can call me that. I don't have any issue with that. I answer to that. I don't like Di. I especially don't like Diana, because there's no A at the end of that word, right? But, you know, Diane, it's great. I think I'm literally around your big sister's age there, Eli. That's cool. All right, here's the moment of truth, guys. Do you want to raid Kahuna, or do you want to do, like, basically one more sprint? Totally up to you. Let me know. I don't mind continuing, but I also kind of do want to raid Kahuna. It's up to you. Oh, thank you for the follow, Nina. Awesome. Welcome. Yeah, but same for Sable, says Emily. I always trip on it when I'm talking about you with my mother. It's fine. Yeah, Sable, Sable. Yeah, Sable. Yeah. And I'm only 5 years older than Stretch. That's right. He's in my age group. Yeah, we're all old people around here. Nice. Nice. Do people under the age of, or over the age of millennial watch Twitch? You'd never know it by the way it's marketed, would you? Yeah. Aw, Emily said earlier she was reading the newspaper and got annoyed again and obviously should have kept with writing. Yes! Yes, you should have kept with writing. So what are we doing? Are we sprinting once more? Or are we raiding Kahuna? I'm a millennial, so I can't say. Yep. Millennials aren't exactly spring chickens anymore either, are they? It's all this Gen Z stuff. But then again, I never saw any marketing for Twitch anywhere. Raise his hand nervously. Millennial here. Millennials are cool. I like millennials. People don't understand millennials. That's the problem, okay? And it's honestly the more boomers that don't understand millennials. Gen X gets you, okay? Gen X knew perfectly well that everything went to shit for us, and therefore we had nothing to give you. And it's crappy. You know? So why would you have any loyalty to a job? Fuck it. They don't have any loyalty to you, right? Leave if you want to leave. Go get another job. Who cares? They think you're expendable. Why shouldn't they be fucking expendable, right? You know? You eat avocado toast because that's what you can afford, because you can't actually afford, like, you know, to put cream cheese on things, because that's expensive, you know? I get you. Yeah, I first heard about Twitch properly just before World Anvil summer camp. The only reason why I know about Twitch is World Anvil, really. Well, and gaming streams. I guess we're sprinting. I'm gonna get back to work then. Aw. I have that kind of relationship with my brother, I'm afraid. Eli says my sister would be around 42 to 43 right now. I haven't spoken to her in years, but she's 10 years older than me. Yeah, and I'm also millennial and proud of it. Good for you. Good for you. You stand up for it. The idea of millennial is also very country dependent, says Amelie. I feel that we're all getting very influenced by the U.S. Yes, because the U.S. owns the internet, and that's the way they want it. I was supposed to do a bio break, but got distracted by the chat, says Walking Dead Lover. Ah, shit. It happens, eh? Me too. Alright. Well, cool. If you guys want to hang out with me, I'm cool with hanging out, and I appreciate your company, so let's definitely do it. This is the next chapter I've got to put out, so I might as well get it ready. This apparently did not take. Let's do that then. Probably didn't type anything after that, did I? Because I'm an idiot. Alright. I didn't do any of this. Oh, well. And that's the sprint. And how did everyone do? DM Stretch says, yep, exactly how I feel about jobs, to be honest. They piss me off or treat me like crap. I walk. Did that 3 times in the last half of 2019, and it was worth it. 2 of those times was in the middle of the shift. Yep, absolutely. Don't have any loyalty to them. They'll steal, if they offer a pension at the place, they'll steal it at earliest opportunity when they sell off the company to, liquidate it for bankruptcy, right? Because we don't have legislation that forces these companies to pay their pensions that they're owed their workers before anything else. And we should demand that, by the way. That's something we really should be putting in legislation, because that's our money, right? Pensions are deferred wages. They are not part of the income of the goddamn company. Yep. Eli says, I'm eating instant mashed potatoes with cream cheese right now because I am a not quite starving artist. I hear you. But I added rosemary and chives from my garden, so it's tasty. We had nothing in the house. We're out of pop and other things to drink. Our water doesn't taste that great here, so we drink other stuff. And we were probably screwed, but apparently the government gave us magic money at some point. I don't know what happened. It was like a bonus to people on disability or something. We had $1,000 in our bank we weren't expecting, we just found out, so we're gonna be okay. So that's nice. Eli says, I bet the South African wood sorrel that grows as an invasive species around my garden would be good in this too. You know what? I like weeds. The most useful plants are usually weeds. Take it from an herbalist. Right? It's tasty and lemony fresh, but I honestly don't know what it's like fresh. Well, mostly sorrel is intended to go in food dried, but I'm sure you can eat it fresh. Yeah, and Eli ate their dinner, which is good. Eating is important. Gotta feed the starving artist. So we only have a couple minutes left here, it looks like. 10 minutes, so it's not time enough for another sprint. I'm just checking to see who else is on. Amanda is on. Darth is rocking some Stream Raiders in the background. Cat is on, but they're playing a game. Travis Tavern Talk is on, and so is Final Boss Editing. DM Stretch says, partway through watching a Schola Gladiatoria video on why the British Army officers stopped carrying swords. It was because during the Boer War, they were getting sniped as the sword was a big marker, giving them away. I did not know that, and you'd think I would know that because I'm studying that period. It's very interesting. It's a thing there, actually, Stretch. You want to talk about connections across the world. Jamie's grandfather was actually a Boer War veteran. I think it was grandfather. Might have been his great-grandfather. Oh, hey, Lady Writes, thanks for the bits! Magic change dropping as she comes by. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Yeah, alright, it was his great-grandfather was a Boer War veteran. Right? And he was actually at that fucking battle with the Zulu. He lived with, this... I think so, anyway, that famous battle. Stream is freezing at this end? Yeah, that's because the bits, probably. Oh, in France we changed the color of our uniform because of the same reason, but that was at the start of World War I, I think. It was bright blue before. Yeah, everybody started changing their uniforms to drab colors to blend in World War I for that why. Before that, colors were bright so you could see through the smoke who you shouldn't shoot. You know what, guys? I'm gonna raid Kahuna for a couple minutes, but just so you're aware, Travis Tavern Talk is up. Right, because we do not have time for another sprint. I've already used more than my fair share of time anyway. So he's up, and he's a good guy, right? And of course Amanda was here in the stream. Amanda, Panda, Sensei. Check them out. I'll go say hi to Amanda, but I'm going to bed right after. Fair enough. Eli says I ate my noms. I'll probably have to eat more of them later, but that was good. Excellent. Sounds tasty. Stretch says also officers were ordered to paint anything that was shiny khaki color to stop the glint from the sun. Yep, legit. I recall that. I didn't know about the swords, but that makes sense. Looks like Kahuna's just ending. His wife already went away. I like Mrs. Kahuna, that's a shame. Okay, we're gonna raid Amanda. Don't forget that our raid call is prepare to be boarded because we are the Sable's privateers. I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully at 2 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. GMT for our Hobbit birthday. It's a writing stream. It's usually Aaron, Write with Aaron and sometimes Diane. And we're gonna, we're gonna do some writing. You guys want, we'll do a couple showcases or whatever and give stuff away. I'll also be back on Sunday for Sable's World Forge, 1 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. GMT, runs for 3 hours. And we'll be doing world building and showcasing. And don't forget Sunday night, it'll be episode 39 of Toy Soldiers, our Pathfinder campaign in Toy Soldier Saga Universe. It will start at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, which is like 1:30 in the morning GMT, I believe. Yeah. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I had a lot of fun today. I'll see you tomorrow.